Hey, Roma no 7 days, drop it like it's hot. If this world was mine, I'd take your dreams and make them multiply. If this world...
I'm gonna just tell y'all right now, they both got on my nerves. They both got on my nerves. Hey y'all, it's your girl Breezy. No, let it run my mouth. So we're back for episode 5 for the 1,000-pound roomies. Before we get into how bad both Nesha and Jaz got on your girl's nerves, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Make sure that you hit that notification bell so that you can be notified when I come to run my mouth. We are on the way to 2K. So make sure you hit that button. I hope my earring is not hitting that. Make sure you hit that button and like, comment. Let me know what you think about the episode, about the review down below. And let's get into it. All right. So we're still in Big Bear. Nesha's still upset, and she still is having all of the things going on. Nesha's on my nerves still talking about it because it's just the audacity to me for you to plan a trip for someone who you know is in pain. Like I said the last time, you're in pain. She's in pain. This was not a pleasurable experience for you or for her, and you're making it seem like, oh my God, she's just so ungrateful that she's just so ungrateful because she's not enjoying the trip. How's she gonna enjoy it in pain, girl? We do get a little bit more insight. She talks about how the cult made her serve and made it be about other people. So that's part of the reason why she feels like it's for her to serve people. It's for her to, be there for people. And so she gets upset when people don't appreciate it. But girl, some stuff, if you're self-imposing, what is it that you want her to be grateful for? And so they were having a conversation. Her friend did say it started with you. And I wish we would have been able to hear the full conversation to hear her advising Nesha that you did it to yourself. I feel like Nesha needs therapy because the trauma that she has, it's spilling over. It's spilling over, and it's like, girl, you're getting on my nerves. So that was the first still was getting on my nerves, which was carryover from the last episode. So Jaz is in the room talking to the girl Tiffany about her upcoming visit, how she has to meet her goal, and Tiffany just like, what's up with you and Nesha? It's the tension. It's, weird. And she's like, I just, I don't know. But she was like, y'all need to get it together, whatever. And so Jaz and Tiffany ended up cleaning up the cabin before they were leaving. And Nesha felt appreciated about it and saying how she had felt shut out. But I'm like, not you felt shut out when you was being stank. Girl, bye. Girl, bye. Girl, bye. So we're back at the house, and Jaz weighed in, and she's 533 pounds at this weigh-in time. And I don't know. I wish they would give timelines. See, let me produce a show because these are the things that the people want to know. We want to know how long it has been since Jaz talked to her doctor, and the doctor said you're not doing what you're supposed to do to this weigh-in following this Big Bear trip. And then I want to know how many days is it until the appointment. Dear TLC, those are some things y'all are leaving out that y'all could put in the episode. What I also thought about, and this is just a tangent I'm going to go on, is because you have people who are watching this for entertainment, like myself, but you also have people who are watching this for a little information when it comes to surgery and all the things that people go through. Y'all should add a little bit more context, a little bit more information. Like if you're not going to share all of the details the doctor talked to her about in an actual video, put it up on the screen and let us see what the doctor told her exactly, what she was prescribed exactly, what, all of those things so that we can get a full understanding of where we are in time. Because it just feels like, whoosh, she lost 40 pounds. Whoosh. Now she at 533. Whoosh. Now it's the next doctor's appointment. So y'all should give a little time context so it don't just feel like we flying by the hem of our pants. Okay. Anyway, so she has decided to stop the shot. And they're saying now this will make us get along. She's going to still work out. She's working out with some weights. But this made me feel real nervous for Jaz. This made me feel real nervous for her coming off the shot. I know that she's having complications and all of that, but I still feel like, did we see a true effort of her on this shot and taking her supplements and making sure she ate and making sure she got her protein in and doing her workouts? Did we truly get that? Because I don't think that we truly got that. And not truly getting a true effort, it makes it seem like, oh, the shot is so bad, the shot is horrible. And that's really not the case. And just when I feel like maybe being hard and just wish that she can control herself, this heifer orders a food sampler in an attempt to make it up to Nesha to apologize for what they went through at Big Bear. Number one, Nesha was being stank in Big Bear. I'm sorry. There was nothing that Jaz did that was so offensive and so horrible that should have caused Nesha to act like that. So there was nothing to apologize about in Big Bear. Now, later on in this episode, when we talk about this workout class, then Jaz, you should have been apologizing. But y'all got this screwed up on who I feel like was the culprit and who was responsible for the debacle in Big Bear. Okay. And this is why therapy is needed. I'm glad that later on Jaz went to therapy in a session, but the sampler is a celebration of her stopping the shot, also making it up to Niche. And then this is one time. The shot was not the problem. Niche was so happy about Jaz stopping the shot. The shot was not the problem. She is extremely overweight, extremely morbidly obese, and she was not doing what she was supposed to do. It pisses me off every time we get into this conversation, whether it be with Nisha and her friends, Nisha and Jaz and somebody else, what the shot was doing to her. And nobody's saying what Jaz was not doing while on the shot. So annoyed. Then this girl can't even walk to the kitchen to go get the bag that was delivered. Can't even go to the kitchen to get the hot sauce she want to put on her burrito that was behind her burger, y'all. A burrito that was behind her burger. She couldn't see it. So that's why she couldn't ask Niche to get the hot sauce when she asked Niche the first time to bring her something to drink. You can't even walk to and that is how you know food is an addiction for people. And that is how you know that you have to really work on your mental when it comes to losing weight. You have to really grab it by the horns or you can be out of control because those old habits will creep back on you so fast, it'll make your head spin. It'll make your head spin. And then another delusional moment from Niche. With Jaz getting off the shot, hopefully she'll get back to herself and not being so needy. Ma'am, she was needy before. Ma'am, she was bent over before. Ma'am, she couldn't hardly walk before. It's not y'all both was tripping. You and Jaz was tripping. Okay? Y'all Nisha's losing her job. Her mama comes, and I thought this was the most ridiculous thing. I thought this was so selfish of the mama. I can understand you've been running a daycare for years and that you're ready to retire. But to say, hey, for instance, it's July 1st, and on July 31st, that's the last day the daycare gonna be open. And that's selfish for the kids, and that's selfish for Niche as your worker and as your daughter, whose income is relying on that. Then this lady, Nisha's mama got on my nerves. Then this lady had the nerve to start calling out professions of stuff that we know Niche can't do. She said, I seen you do makeup, I seen you do hair, and I seen you cook. It's other stuff that you can do. And I said to myself in that moment, at her size, ma'am, what makeup she finna do? What hair she finna do other than having somebody come over to the house so she can sit on the couch and they can sit on the floor between her legs? Cook, maybe, because she cooks enough for them to eat big old meals. So she might get on with that. But I just was really blown by that mama's response. Now, I don't disagree with her that and part of her reason is that she wants Niche to be independent. She wants Niche to be out on her own. And so she's moving on. She's been thinking about retiring and she never did. She always think about the kids. She always think about everybody else. And then Niche got in her feelings because her name was not in the list of people that her mom said when she said, I think about other people when it comes to the daycare. And that's something they got to work out. That's some mother-daughter stuff that they got to work out. And on the next episode, they're going to talk. And I don't know if they're going to get it together. But, maybe not. Who's to say? Could what Mr. said could be not. Who's to say? Okay. And more complication to their relationship. Niche left the cult a year before her mom did, and her mom could not talk to her for that year that she remained in that cult. And so Niche feels like this closing of the daycare is her mom once again abandoning her. Her mom also brings up, and I'm gonna move on from this. Her mom also brings up, like, I could help you. You could do the shots. You could get surgery. I help. I don't want no shots. I don't want no surgery either. And your ass ain't tried to stop eating either. Like, because what Niche said, what I'm at my size, what am I supposed to do? My first thought was get a work from home job. Get a work from home job where you're doing customer care calls and y'all can sit around the house. I'm sure Jazz's daughter is gone to school. You can get a phone job where you are at home and sitting down, which you like to do. But for you to say to your mom, at my size, what am I gonna do? When you had an option to reduce the size is wild to me. You didn't want to do nothing. You didn't want to take the shot. You didn't want to do surgery, and you didn't want to stop eating. The nerve. Got on my nerves again. More annoyance. Okay. Are y'all counting how many times I've been annoyed? I've lost count. So Nisha's doing her side hustles. So she's gonna bake, and she has Jaz in the kitchen helping her. Jazz, and this is where the big fight between, I don't know if y'all saw the previews, but a big fight happened between, or a big like argument happened between Niche and Jazz, because in this moment, Jazz wasn't listening. And I was totally with Niche when it came to that argument. So they're talking, and Jazz tells her that she has chair aerobics and she wants Niche to go. Niche told her, I can't go because I got to drop off the baked stuff that I'm making. So Nisha said she has some cupcakes orders. So she's trying to get her hustle on. She got some cupcake orders. I'm going to talk about the fight now because the fight happened later on from that conversation. So now we get to the day of the daggone class. It was so funny to me because Nisha's reaction was a reaction I would have had. So Jazz in there get herself together, and she says, "All right, Nish, I'll be ready in about 5 minutes or something like that." And Nish said, "Okay," because girl, why are you telling me? And she was like, "You taking me to my class, right?" And she was like, "No, I told you no. You said you couldn't go. You said you was gonna take me." They never had that conversation. Never had that conversation. And I don't know where Jazz didn't get in her mind that if I'm dropping off cupcakes and can't, if I cannot come to the class because I'm telling you I'm dropping off cupcakes or my deliveries, why would I be dropping you off to the class? And if that's what you thought, okay, you can't come to the class, can you drop me off? That was another clarifying question that you needed to ask because I'm with Niche. When I tell you, no, I can't, no, I cannot go with you, um, I got stuff to do. That should have let you know that I was busy, right? That should have been your clue to be like, well, you can't go to the class, but can you drop me off? Like, why in your mind did you figure that Niche was just automatically going to take you to this workout class? Child, Niche was like, you can't even fit in the car. And the way she said it was just, it sounded so bad. And I know that that's why Jazz took it. What you mean I can't fit in the car? She's like, it's me, my friend who's helping me with deliveries, and the cupcakes. There is no room for you. And I got stuff to do. I never told you that. Get you a ride share. And here is that conversation I had last week. You have to do stuff on your own. She had kind of got upset and got her little face twisted because Niche told her she couldn't go to the class with her. And I felt like, okay, I understand that in the beginning, y'all were supposed to do this together. Y'all made promises. Niche done broke her promise. You know, for at least this time that you've gone from 6:30 to 5:33, and congratulations on that weight loss. You know, in that time frame, she's not been with you. She's not done any workout. She's not stopped how she's eating. She hasn't changed her mind about the shot. She ain't said nothing about no surgery. She don't want you to take the shot. What gave you the indication that she was gonna come to a class, a chair aerobics class anyway? She has left you. She been left you. And sometimes you have to just realize when folks left you, when it's over, and move on and know that I still want this. I still want to lose weight. I'm on my own and I'm going to do it. And somebody in the comments, I can't remember who it was. I might try to go find a comment and put it up here. You got to leave your old folks behind. Was it Brianna? You got to leave your old folks behind and get you a new group of folks. You need to start hanging out with the people that's on the shot. You need to start hanging with people that's trying to get the surgery, done had the surgery, people that's in the aerobics class. They have the same mindset as you. They're going to be looking for you to eat your protein. Did you take your shot today? Did you drink your supplements? Have you eaten your right amount of protein? Those people are going to be looking for your success because we all in the same boat. Niche ain't studying you. Niche don't care. Okay? Um, but Jazz, you were wrong, 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 wrong. You were wrong, wrong, wrong to get that attitude. Niche told her, put your big girl panties on, and she said, I wear them every day. Then we shouldn't be having this conversation. And she told me she got to rip the band-aid off sometime. And so she told her F her band-aid because she was really upset because Nisha's doing something else that's not involved in the exercise. And I get it. But again, except at this point, she ain't on the journey with you, sis. So you can't get mad at her because she's doing what she want to do. Okay. Let's get back to Jazz going to therapy. So Jazz goes to therapy, and every time I see her bent over, it just does something to me. It really makes me feel a way that her existence has been over. We see her when she's in the doctor's office, just bent over that wheelchair. Can't stand straight up. At the doctor's office on the scale, can't stand straight up. It just floors me every time I see it. And the therapist was floored by it too because he was like, is this every day for you? She was like, yeah. And he was like, I feel so sad for you. And I think that's what gets me every time. I do feel a sadness for her because it's like every time I see you, you can't. For all of us who are in our bodies and able to function in them, you're able to stand up, you're able to walk distances, you're able to move around. Imagine being bent over, that your view is mainly the ground. The only time you're able to look out and look up is when you're sitting in a wheelchair. That's sad. So this therapist, he's been working with people who have addictions for 33 years. And she admitted that she never ever wants to eat healthy food. She's like, it's always fast food, this food, it's not ever like healthier choices. Junk food, fast food is her thing. We get some backstory, which explains her mom was in an abusive relationship. Jazz's first relationship mirrored that. She kept on that what do you call it, that pathology. And she got into an abusive relationship. She said she's been beat and just treated real bad. Um, and she said as a result of her weight, she decided to isolate and she just got bigger. The other thing that made me sad about her therapy appointment is that when the therapist asked her what her self truth was, she said that how she feels about herself is that she's a loser. And the therapist, that broke my heart for her. That, that broke my heart for her. But the therapist let her know that those negative self thoughts are the reason why she's overweight. That negative self thought of being a loser allows you to just sit and eat and eat and eat. And that if she doesn't change her mindset, if she does not change her mindset, she's just going to get big again. Because he said you can have the surgery, you can lose the weight, and if you don't change your mind, you're going to end up right back where you are right now, which is a fact. You have to change your mindset about how you think about things. And that's, I think, with any type of change. You have to change what your mind frame is in order to get over it. So he told her she needs to go to therapy and she needs to go to Overeaters Anonymous. And he asked her about niche and the support, and she kind of wavered on it. But she was honest and let him know that she does not feel as supported as she should. She knows that her friend is eating and just snacking around the house and eating things that she can't eat, and she feels a way about it, but she never talked to Nisha about it. He told her you need to put it on the table, and so here's what I realized: if you come from a childhood where your mother was abused, that's more than likely an environment where your communication was controlled or stifled, so you're not able to express yourself. You then go and get in a relationship where you have that same type of abusive behavior now from your lover, who is also going to control your communication and stifle it. And Jaz has lost her voice. I feel like I said that maybe in episode 2 when they went to the dinner with the grandma. She needs to find her voice. So she definitely does need to go to therapy. She needs to, I think, the Overeaters Anonymous would help her too. And she really needs to find her voice. She really needs to find her voice. Overeaters Anonymous definitely would be helpful, but if she goes to therapy and they focus on those things for her, I think she will see a lot of change in her mindset of how she views herself, and she'll want to see different for her body, and she'll actually want to do the things that are necessary in order for her to be successful, for her to continue to be active, for her to continue to lose weight. And something that the doctor told her that I hope resonated with her, he told her, you got to be aggressive or you will be dead. And I would feel, I don't know, you know what? Again, it's about the mental, I guess, because to continue to hear, you could die, you will not live, you will not live, would make me want to do what I need to do in order to live. But when you have different struggles, you know, you have to figure out the best way in order to be able to beat those struggles. So Nisha and her friend are out dropping off the cupcake orders and eating. They sit down. So in the car on the way, Nisha's telling the friend, basically like because the friend walked in on the argument that they were having. And the friend was like what I walked in on. And she just was like, she don't feel appreciated, and about the whole situation that happened with Jaz. And again, I'm with Niche in that one particular scenario. That was the one time on the episode she didn't get on my nerves. Because here again, where she then got on my nerves, they go to a restaurant after dropping off the orders, her and the friend, and they're eating, and Jaz calls on. Oh, hold on, no, before that, Jaz, you got some nerve. You got some nerve. So while they're in the car on the way dropping off deliveries, Jaz calls Niche and says, "I made it." And again, Nisha's me. Okay, good. I'm glad you made it. And she was like, "You got something to say to me?" And Nisha's like, well, "Should I have something to say to you?" Like, girl, what are you talking about? You should give me an apology. Excuse you. Excuse you. I owe you an apology because you asked me if I could go to a class with you, and I told you no, I had things to do. So you assumed that because I had things to do, I would be able to at least drop you out, which you never confirmed with me. And you got mad and caught an attitude with me because the day that I'm going to take my orders, and I lost my job, my job is ended, so I'm trying to get some income to come in. You got to make money ahead of time. I'm with me. She had a plan. You expect me to apologize for you because we got in an argument because you were being inconsiderate? Because from the time I told you that I couldn't take you, you should have been looking for a ride for that class. I said, Jaz, you cannot be serious. So after they take the orders and they're at this restaurant, now Jaz calls on FaceTime. And I felt like neither one of these times were the time to talk about that. You should have waited until you got home and Jaz was home. I'm sorry, and Niche was home, and you have a conversation face to face about it. Y'all had a face to face argument. Y'all need to talk about that face to face. Y'all need to sit down and have a conversation. You need to explain to her. You should have shared those things that the therapist told you to share with her and let her know. And y'all had a real conversation. To call somebody like Niche told her, you coming in hot talking about some apology. So then Jaz like, what y'all doing? And he's like, nothing. She don't want to show her. She's like, show me the background. I'm not showing you the background. Show me the background. So she showed the background. They eating. Well, they were eating because them chicken wings was done, skint to the bone. Niche gonna say, I miss my friend and not on some fat ish. And I don't believe that. I believe you miss that your friend is not eating the way that you're eating and that she's focusing on trying to lose weight and that you have not found your strength in order to do it. I don't believe that I don't. I really don't. So on the way to the doctor, Jaz does apologize to Niche for the whole situation about the class, as she should have. It should have been in person, just like the nastiness was in person. And Niche Jaz tells Niche that she appreciates her and it's time to go get weighed. Why are we wait till it's time to get on the scale to be like, oh Lord, I was eating this and I was eating that. Sometimes she said, oh, I was, eating things I shouldn't have been eating, a taco, a burrito, a taquito, a burger and fries. I feel like I set up for failure. Yeah, you did. You absolutely did. You got off that shot and you went buck wild. You should have known you were going to because you were already buck wild. Anyway, did she make it to the 500? No, she did not. She got to 530, which is good. She's lost 100 pounds. She was 630, now she's 530. She's lost 100 pounds, but it wasn't the goal that the doctor wanted. The doctor wanted her to lose 130 pounds. And I did all this hard work. The last thing that annoyed me was the last thing that Jaz said in this episode. I did all this hard work and I didn't make my goal. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. You didn't do the hard work. Didn't you just tell us you ate tacos and burritos and taquitos and burgers and fries? What you expected? What you expected? We got to be honest with ourselves and say, you know what? Them tacos and burgers and fries and taquitos and burritos that I was eating, that's the reason why I didn't get there. I probably had lost down to probably about 515 or so. They should have never let her off that shot. They should have never let her off that shot. Anyway, y'all, that was the episode. I was annoyed, very much annoyed. They very much got on my nerves. The whole episode, like I said, there was one moment where somebody wasn't getting on my nerves. Well, I'll say two. In the therapy appointment and what was the other one? Oh, Jaz got on my nerves in that one. I was gonna say during the argument, but somebody was on my nerves because Jaz was on. So it was only one time when they didn't get on my nerves, which was at the therapy appointment. I felt very, very sad for Jaz. Yeah, this was a good episode. I enjoyed it. They are giving us the entertainment for sure. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts about episode 5 down in the comments below. Make sure you thumbs up the video. Make sure you share it with someone who can come and enjoy all this mouth running. And make sure you subscribe. Again, we're on the way to 2K subscribers. Make sure you subscribe so that you can be notified after you click that notification bell the next time I come to run my mouth. I will be also getting the video for Married Abroad, Match Me Abroad, episode 2 up. I did watch that, so I just need to get my review done, and I'll share that with y'all. And then, whatever else I feel like putting my thoughts on, y'all will see it in my shorts or on my videos. Again, be sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can be notified the next time I come to run my mouth. Peace.